The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome to the seminar on how to manage social media, dedicating 60 minutes a day. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. We were just all talking in here about how long we spend on social media. Some of us feel like we're in it every day, every minute, looking and anticipating, and then others are like we're trying to be strategic. So we're really looking forward to hearing from our presenter today. And just so everybody is aware, this is a webinar series that has been sponsored by Capital One Bank. This is the fourth and last of our summer series on marketing. We've done marketing research, we've done network, we've done a variety of marketing topics. And so this one, I think, kind of pulls it all together and really looks at how do you practically apply some of these great social media tools to use in your business. Just a little bit of FYI notes as we go about today's seminar. You'll be in listen-only mode until the Q&A session, which will take place at the end of the presentation. Please think of any questions that you may have. If Romona, our presenter, talks about something, make sure you can raise hand and you can put your question in the queue. So feel free to do that throughout. We are going to have our fearless leader, Melissa O'Connor, who will be fielding all of the questions, and you'll meet her a little bit towards the end of the program. Just so you know, we will have the presentation up either Friday or first thing on Monday. So in case you missed something, you can go back to the presentation. It will be on the Arlington Economic Development's website for prosperity. So if you just want to feel comfortable and eat your lunch and listen to us as we go through the presentation, definitely feel free. If this sparks additional questions, I'm sure our presenter would be more than happy to chat with you via social media or other mechanisms, or feel free to contact us for a counseling appointment, or just give me a call or email directly. So with that, I am Tara Palacios, the Director of Biz Launch, and I'll be moderating today's session. And I have with me the social media trainer and guru, Romona Foster, who is a consultant and social media trainer, and we're really, really happy to have her with us today because she knows all the ins and outs and can help guide us through dedicating just 60 minutes a day. Romona trains groups and individuals on how to best use LinkedIn, how to market yourself on Facebook, and all things about Twitter and best practices of email marketing, Pinterest and Google. She's done a variety of different things, which reminds me, for the Twitter, we will be live tweeting everyone at BizLaunchAt. So follow us, whether it's through the Chamber, AED BizLaunch, or Ramona's handle, which is AdTech Consult, to really get the most. If you don't want to raise your hand and you want to contact us directly or say, wow, that was something great, definitely do that. So going more into Ramona's experience, she's also served as a guest panelist for the Maryland Hispanic Business Conference. She's out and about quite a bit in D.C. and in Northern Virginia. She's been featured on WEAA's Briefcase Workshop radio program and has recorded 5 different radio promos on Clear Channel and Wash FM, who I've listened to all the time, on behalf of Constant Contact, another friend of BizLaunch. Romona is a Constant Contact authorized local expert, certified social media marketing presenter, and email marketing trainer. And she has also been the 2-time recipient of the Constant Contact All-Star Award in 2012 and 2013. So I really feel as if we're going to be in great hands this afternoon. And I have my notebook out, Romona, and I'll be taking notes and really looking forward to your presentation today. So with that, we will jump right in.
Okay, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, as Tara said, I'm Romona Foster, social media trainer and consultant. And these are the ways to contact me. You can reach me at rfoster@admintechconsulting.com. I'm on Facebook at Admin Tech Consulting. join my mailing list by texting DC Social to 22828.
I didn't realize that was you, DC Social.
That is me.
Oh, that is so cool. I've learned something new already.
All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. Here is our agenda. We're going to first talk about why you should use social media. We'll talk about how and what you should research and how you can find content online. I know a lot of people have questions about what do I post.
Yeah.
Also, we'll talk about blog writing and creating content, which is something that I do. I actually blog for 3 different blogs. One is Constant Contact blog, another is Business to Community, and then also I'm a DC examiner for examiner.com, and then just most recently I've become a publisher for LinkedIn.
Oh, wow.
So we're also going to talk about sharing and posting your content. We'll talk about engaging with your audience, and we'll talk a little about analytics, and then I have a little bonus for those people who may be new to social media. And then we'll go into Q&A.
I do have a question, because what I'll hear from people a lot when we're meeting with different entrepreneurs, business owners, is that this takes a lot of time.
Yes.
Can you really do it in 60 minutes?
Absolutely.
And you're going to show us, because they look at this and they say, oh my God, because I'll say that you should blog and that it should be tied in so that you're getting everybody to go back to your website and do things that create some kind of action. Right. And then I just get this kind of like star in the headlights kind of look from people like, whoa, it's so overwhelming.
Right, it is. It seems overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be.
Good.
So, and that's what we're going to talk about.
And we'll leave out feeling awesome at the end.
Right.
We can do this.
Exactly.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go there?
There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so why use social media, and should you spend the time? So first of all, one of the things that you want to do, particularly if you are new on social media, is find out where your target audience is. So you need to find out, is your audience on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, or are they on a variety of those different platforms? Also, you want to make sure that you are using email marketing, because everybody uses email, right?
That's right.
So you want to make sure you're integrating your email marketing with your social media platforms as well. But the most important thing is that you are finding where that target audience is. I know I have clients that will say, you know, I'm on Facebook and nothing's happening, people aren't engaging with me, but what the issue most likely is that your audience is not there. So you want to make sure that you find out where they are. If you need to survey them to find out. You can do that through email marketing. Just find out where they are and then make sure you're there, because it's not about you, it's about the customer. You want to be where they are, not where you want to be necessarily.
Now that sounds like an awesome tweet.
Yeah,
and 140 characters or less.
I love it. That's tweet worthy.
Yes.
So also, social media, when used correctly, can benefit your business greatly, and it can take just 60 minutes per day.
I love it.
You just have to learn how to manage it correctly. And today I will demonstrate the best practices for utilizing social media tools. So social media is the new word of mouth. You know, before it was, people would actually really go around and tell people about your business with their mouth. Today, it's being done via social media. And social media will actually lead to new customers, repeat business, and referrals. Social media endorsements equal return on investment. So the likelihood of a purchase when referred by social media, 71% will actually do business with you if they are referred through social media.
Wow.
And then 7% are more likely if they are not referred. So they'll find you on their own.
So there's a bigger piece of the pie.
Exactly. So, and another reason why you should be using social media is because people are hungry for it. How many times do you see people walking down the street with their head in their phone?
Me right now.
They're not just looking at the telephone numbers. They are actually tweeting. They're on Facebook. They're pinning on Pinterest. They're posting pictures on Instagram. Those are the things that people are doing when you see them with that phone in their hand and their head in the phone.
They're engaged.
They're engaged in social media. Now let's talk about research, finding content your audience will find valuable. So when you are researching, one of the things you want to make sure that you do is offer content that is actually valuable to your customer. But you may have some concerns, and I just want to let you know that you are not alone. So you may be saying any one of these things. Social media looks really interesting, but I will never have millions of customers. Well, how many of you out there really want millions of customers? First of all, it needs to be manageable. If people look at my social media profiles, they might think, well, she doesn't have a lot going on here. You know, she doesn't have a lot of followers. But I make sure that I'm actually following and trying to keep my social media manageable for me. I'm a one-person business. I'm not looking for millions of customers. I could not handle that, right? So to think because you have a small follower base that you can't actually generate leads and that type of thing off your social media is absolutely not true. It's the quality. It's the quality of the followers and the following. You want to make sure that you are targeting, again, your specific audience on social media. You're not just following every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You want to make sure that you're following people who are interested in what you have and people that you can help. So also you may be saying, reading what's being said sounds useful, but I'll never have a dedicated staff to do it right. So what I'm going to do today is actually show you how you, as a small business or individual, can actually manage your social media without a staff. You may be saying using new marketing tools sounds great, but I will never write thought leadership articles. Well, my friends, there are ways for you to actually use other people's articles, and it's perfectly fine whether you write or not. And then also, you may be saying, I hear about new tools and networks every day, but I just don't have the time to stay current. And again, I'm going to show you how to listen and find new content on a daily basis.
Okay. This makes me feel good.
Yes, it should. I want to make you feel good.
I can manage.
So managing your social media accounts in just 60 minutes absolutely takes discipline. So you will actually have to carve out that 60 minutes per day. And I don't care if you do it 15 in the morning, 15 in the afternoon, 15 later on in the afternoon, and 15 before you go to bed. You can carve out that 60 minutes in your day some way. Preferably the whole 60 minutes, just set aside 1 hour, that would be great. But if not, again, you could do 15 4 times a day. So what should I be monitoring? One of the first things, and by the way, I'm going to show you how to monitor all of this in a few. One of the things that you should be monitoring is your brand. So is your brand your business, or is your brand you? And my suggestion is, if you have a business, that you should be branding yourself as well as your business. In today's world, you should not just be focusing on branding your business, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
So if there's no face behind that business, sometimes it can create an issue as far as you generating leads and having people follow you and that type of thing. People don't generally today follow logos like they used to back in the day when it was just Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and you know, they can get away with that. But unfortunately, we as small businesses and entrepreneurs cannot. So you want to make sure that you're branding yourself as well. And then you want to make sure that you're monitoring similar companies. So who are your competitors? Who are some other people out there that may be doing similar things? You want to make sure that you're monitoring them. Just check them out. And I'm not saying copy off of them because I'm totally against that. I just recently wrote a LinkedIn article. My first published article with LinkedIn was about being your own unique, amazing self. And the reason why I wrote that is because a lady actually copied my LinkedIn profile and told me she copied my LinkedIn profile almost word for word.
Verbatim.
And what I want to express to you is that just because you're looking at your competitors, you do not have to be your competitor because you are your own unique and individual company. You need to establish yourself as that. You need to create some uniqueness about you that would make people who say, why should I leave here and come to you? Gotcha. So you need to have a reason why you are unique from that competitor. But just check out what they're doing, what they're posting about, what they're talking about, and then come up with your own topic, that type of thing. So another thing that you would monitor are categories, topics, and keywords. So for instance, you're going to be thinking in your mind what your industry is and what your niche is. So when you're looking for categories, let's say you had a pet store. You could look for categories such as animals, animal shelters, pet food, that kind of thing. Look up topics specific to that same niche. And then also keywords. So what keywords do people search for when they're looking for pet stores? What types of things are they looking for? And also, you want to make sure that you're monitoring other experts and influencers in your industry. And again, and I repeat, you are not copying them or trying to be them. You're going to be your own unique and individual self. But just check out some of the things that they are doing and try to incorporate some of what they're doing. If it's working for them, and absolutely it should also work for you. That's right. And then here is a tool that I absolutely love. It's called Google Alerts. You can just type Google Alerts into your browser, and it will come up. But what Google Alerts does is it helps you to search those keywords, those categories, those industry experts, your brand, your name, your company, all of that. So what you would do is I would just type in my name, Romona Foster, in the query. I would say I want to look for everything, and it will ask you how often. Do you want to do it once a day? You know, how often do you want to receive those results? And then do you want only the best results or all results? The one catch is that you do have to have a Gmail account in order to use Google Alerts. So, but what I do with my clients who don't use Gmail is I actually have them to set up a Gmail account specifically for the Google Alerts. Okay. And I tell them to check it once a day, go through it, and see what news is out there about you, your brand, your company, your competitors, your the other experts, the influencers, the keywords, the categories, all of that in the topics that you chose.
I have a question. Yes. Ramona, does this go up? How frequent, like if something is posted up and it's about your business, somebody's profiled or written, would I get that automatically with the Google Alert?
You would get it depending on how often you ask for it. So if you ask for it to come once a day, it will come to your email once a day.
All kind of put together.
It will be put together. You will get a separate email for each query.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Okay.
So the query might say Romona Foster, and it might have 10 entries for Romona Foster, right? Or you can say that I want to receive them as they happen, so which means that you will constantly be getting Google Alerts all day long on a subject.
Like if you're doing a product launch,
exactly.
If you're doing something and you want to monitor what's going on.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Love it.
So let's talk about blog writing. This is one thing that I wish I had time all day to do. I love to write, and I actually discovered it and found out how wonderful it actually is for social media. So we're going to talk about actually creating your own content. I know you're saying, yeah, right. Me write a blog? You know, I can't believe it. I actually, last night, I had a blog deadline. I didn't realize it, so Constant Contact sent me an email and told me. And this was like, I think I got the email around 11:30 last night. I immediately went and wrote the blog. Ooh. It was probably about 3 paragraphs and 3 bullets. So that's how simple it is to write a blog post.
How long did it take you?
It took me about half an hour. And then I just went and I posted it. I found a couple pictures that I wanted to add to it, and I posted it.
Okay.
So blog writing does not mean you're writing a book. A lot of people get overwhelmed. Right, exactly. A lot of people get overwhelmed because they're trying to write a dissertation.
That's right.
And that's not what it is. You're giving 3 tips. You're giving, you know, just small little snippets, tips, hints, that kind of thing.
Information.
Right. That's something that's valuable. And it needs to be specific to your audience.
Okay.
So what do I do next? So here's some starter content for you. When you're creating a blog, you can think about information that you know about that maybe your customers or clients don't know about. You can write a blog about that. You absolutely, I'm quite sure you have tips for people.
Yes.
If people are coming to you for practical advice, you can write a blog about that. So one of the things that I do, and questions that your customers ask also, you can write blogs about that. One of the things that I actually do is people email me a lot to ask me questions. What I'll do is I'll copy the question into a notepad. I'll type my answer, and then I'll copy and paste it back into the email. But the reason why I do that is because then I save that notepad into a folder called blog posts. And so anytime I need a blog post, I can pull from that. And then
it's already been created.
Exactly.
That saves
so
time.
that helps me when I have writer's block. If I can't come up with something immediately, I can then use those questions, advice that I've given someone as my blog post.
That's a great tip.
And then also you can use thought-provoking discussions that inspire dialogue. So if you are among the deep thinker who is always trying to provoke different discussions through, between you and other people, you can actually use that as a blog post. So when those thoughts come to your mind, create a blog post from it. Create a social media entry or a post. So make that into a discussion on your social media.
Oh, I like that.
And then you can repurpose that and turn it into a blog post also. So, and you can do that based on the comments and the questions that you get on your social media posts. You can generate a blog post from that. Also, you want to make sure that you're linking back to things. So how about if you write excerpts about your archived newsletters and then link back to the archived newsletter. You can also write online product reviews. One of the things that I see a lot of bloggers do is when they read a book and they purchase it from Amazon, they will actually write a review on Amazon, and then they will write a more extensive blog post about it.
Linking back?
Link either back to the review or vice versa.
That's
so you can actually put a link into Amazon to the blog post if you want as well. So then other blogs and websites in your area of expertise now becomes your starter content. So let's say you're following another industry expert and they have a great blog or they have a great website. You can actually use some of that content or whatever you're feeling about that person or what they've written, turn that into content. So for instance, if this expert has written a blog post and you have something more to say about it, write your post, you're just still passionate about whatever it is that they said, like, oh, I can really expound on that. Go ahead, write what you're feeling, but make sure that you also link back to
The
original post so people can also read what that person had to say about it. And with that, these links back and forth also help you in the search engine ranking.
So that whole SEO, it'll help.
Exactly.
Because I'll get that question. You know, I'm on social media, but I'm still kind of low down. So I always said, well, you need to write and do a lot.
And for those people that are saying that, it's most likely that they're on social media, period. That's it. Because how many times do people say they're on social media, but then we have to say, but are you using it?
That's right. That's it. Because that helps you.
Exactly.
That's what helps.
Exactly. So you could be on it all day long, but if you're not using it, it's not going to help you in the search results.
No, that's right.
Also, you can take relevant videos, photos, podcasts, and write something about them, right? That could also become a blog post. I see people that use videos, they call it blogging, you know, they use videos in their blog. That is not going to help you with your search engine ranking. So if you use the video, make sure that you also include text. So write something about the video as well.
Just because you have a video doesn't necessarily mean it will go viral or people will find it.
Cannot read a video, right? It's not text.
That's right.
Right. And the search engine rankings are based on text. They're text-based. So.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
So interesting content is something else that you can blog about. So when you find interesting content, make sure that you either write an excerpt about it or write a complete blog post about it, and then link back to that content.
Okay.
So that's where you're getting all of your blog ideas from.
Oh, I just love that.
So that's a lot.
Because the real goal with your blog is to get people to go onto your website to do an action, to do something.
There's always a call to action. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Seems doable.
And now I want to talk about sharing and posting content, what to share and what to post. So here's an example of reusing content. So we have a company, it's the Manchester Animal Shelter. So basically what they've done is they created a blog. They then took a snippet of it and they created a Facebook post. They've also posted it on Twitter, and then they also used it in their email marketing campaign. So to start, you could actually do a newsletter, an email newsletter, or actually what I probably would do is start with a blog. So you have an entire blog post. So then what you can do to get people to the blog, because one of the things that is really hard is to get people to your blog.
That's right. I know that was going to be a question.
So, yeah. So one of the best ways to do that is to write the blog, right? Then you create a newsletter with just not the entire blog, but an excerpt about the blog.
Maybe the first paragraph.
Maybe the first paragraph. And then you include a link to the blog. That's your call to action to drive traffic to your blog.
Very nice.
You do the same thing on Facebook. You type up a little snippet. It doesn't have to be. I would change it.
You make it different.
Make it different. Say something else about the blog.
Okay. Maybe a different angle or part of the content.
Something catchy that would draw people to the blog post. And make sure that you have that call to action, that link. How many times do you see when people say, just add the blog information without the link? Make sure that you're including that link. And then also, make sure on Twitter, you know you only have 140 characters.
Yeah.
So say something catchy, and I don't mean just check out my latest blog. How many times do you see that?
I see it all the time.
If you see it 20 times by the same person,
I
are you going to check out their blog post 20 times? No.
I don't check it out.
You might click on it the first time. After that, it's like boring, right?
Right.
So make sure you say something catchy and include the link, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to do. Reusing content and repurposing it all.
I like the repurposing.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Okay, so now you got pictures, right?
We've been taking a lot of selfies.
Right.
Is that good?
Selfies. You see today how you took those selfies and
Yes.
you're getting retweeted?
Yes.
Selfies work. So absolutely, take those selfies. Don't go overboard where it's obsessive.
That narcissism piece,
Right, exactly. Because that would be a turn off as opposed to the other. So
Okay.
if you post, do a Facebook post and add a video to it, you can get 100% more engagement on Facebook. If you're posting a picture with your post, you can get 120% more engagement. And if you post a post plus a photo album on Facebook, you get 180% more engagement.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I have tried this, and it absolutely works.
Oh, it does.
Because people love to look at pictures.
They do.
And especially if you are an event-based company and you have classes, all of that big event you told me about in Virginia, the retailers.
I love retail.
It would have been great if you took, I don't know if you did, like pictures everywhere that you went.
Yes.
Because then when you start posting that, what are people going to do? First thing, look for themselves in the picture.
That's right.
So that means they're going through all the pictures, right? Because they want, and you want them to, because you want them to repost, you know, share and retweet and do that kind of thing. Right, exactly. And if you have any of their names or Twitter handles or the Facebook handles, then make sure that you include them there so that they retweet.
Oh, I love it.
And share that as well.
Okay. I love the percentages.
And then, if you see the little mobile device up at the top there, what that's saying is 38%, which has increased. This is an old slide from 2012. It has actually increased to 51% of people are actually reading their email, looking at their social media on their mobile phone. So make sure that whatever you're posting is compatible to mobile. So you're not posting books again. So make sure that you're keeping it.
So then nobody's going to read that on their phone.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Not too much. We don't want too much scrolling going on. So one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing in your blog post is you want to be the expert. Now, I have people that have a hard time with that, and I was one of them. I was guilty. I had people telling me I was an expert in social media, and I would say, no, I'm not. No, I'm an expert. But you have to make yourself the expert. Whether you feel it or not, that's what I actually had to do. That's why I'm here today. If I had not presented myself as the expert, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today, right?
Yeah.
So, but even as the expert, even though I don't like that word, as the expert, I'm continually learning. But as long as you know that in your mind, that you are always learning and that you're not the superior expert, you'll be okay, right?
Good.
Because even as an expert, there's still more to learn, right?
I like that.
So in being the expert, you want to make sure that you're focusing on the content and you're sharing knowledge so that people care. So you're making them, presenting it in such a way that they're actually like, oh, yeah, that's, that resonates. Right, it resonates with them, exactly. And so also in being the expert, you want to trade useful information for attention, right? So basically, it's not a show-off thing, but what you're doing is you're offering valuable content that will draw attention to your social media. So it's not just the everyday average stuff that people post. You're creating something interesting and drawing attention to what it is that you have to offer, because it is that content that is valuable to the audience. So again, it's not about you, it's about the audience. And then also, you want to inspire trust by filtering out the noise. There's a lot of noise. So you're not posting a whole bunch of junk, basically, is what that's saying. You're just making sure.
Like your food, what you're eating.
Well, sometimes I do post. It depends where you are and how interesting it is. If you think it would be interesting to your audience.
Yes.
So it's not every meal.
New restaurant.
Exactly.
That you're Or that you're networking at a particular place and look at what we're drinking.
Right.
And then I want to be there with
Or
you.
even I relax.
Ah,
And all that I do.
Because that's engaging.
Right, exactly. And then, people will come back and they'll say, oh, I love that restaurant or whatever. They have great food. Try this or whatever.
Ah.
So it's not, I went to McDonald's today. That's boring, right?
My big
But you do something and you really feel like, oh, this is really great. Let me post that. That's okay. But not overdoing it unless you're a food critic or some kind of in the food industry. So, and then here are some social media don'ts. What not to include in your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn updates.
Okay.
Don't pitch. Don't overtly self-promote. Like I see some people who just constantly post selfies. I mean, it's like their whole page are selfies.
Just of them.
It's kind of funny. So then don't offer incentives to get reviews or sharing. And don't stray from your areas of business into personal information, politics, sports, religion, etc. And I disagree with that in some cases, such as some personal information will actually draw a connection, make a connection with people.
Okay.
So if you have children and your audience are mothers, then absolutely say, oh, Megan started camp today or whatever,
Because people can relate to that.
People can relate to that.
Customers may have going through the same, similar, shared experience.
And, or you might say, I'm looking for, my daughter just was diagnosed with ADHD and I'm seeking help for, then other people will jump in and say, hey, I know a great counselor or whatever that individual could use. Also, politics. If that is your platform, absolutely you're going to talk about politics.
Just being in D.C. area.
Right. D.C. is a very political place, so it's kind of hard to stay away from that. But be careful when you're treading on that ground right there. And as far as sports are concerned, I disagree right here with that because I post my runs, and people engage based on that. Because people will say, oh, I want to run or whatever. How did you start running, Or people will say, yeah, me too, I got my workout in this morning, that kind of thing. They will encourage you.
And it offers that humanistic. I'm not a brand. I'm a person just like you, and you're open to engagement.
So it's pretty much the conversation that you would normally have when you're out talking with your clients, right?
That's right.
So if you don't normally talk about religion in that space, don't do that. If you don't normally talk about politics, don't do that.
And keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent, and then keep these things to a minimum, right? So you're not talking about them constantly.
All the time.
Yes. And then also, make sure that you're making your content shareable. So whenever you're doing a newsletter or an email marketing campaign, make sure that you are including what's called a share bar. Also, make sure you include that share bar on your website so that people can share what they see with their audience.
Very easily.
Very easily, with one click, right? So you want to make sure that you're making everything that you do shareable. And then we're going to talk about engaging your audience. Listening for engagement and how to like, comment, share, and retweet through automation. So one of the things that will actually help you do all of that I just mentioned is Hootsuite. Hootsuite, you can actually schedule posts so that they go out on the date that you want them to go out. So if you want to put in on your calendar every holiday and just prepare it to go out. One of the things I want to say about that, though, is if you're scheduling those kind of things to celebrate holidays and that type of thing, make sure that you're also staying current with the news. So, for instance, I know there was a situation when I can't even remember exactly what happened, but someone had posted something when the bomb went off in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
That totally made it look like they were insensitive based on what happened. So if you know something happens on a holiday and you have posted all this great, wonderful, hyped up stuff, and you see something in the news that comes up that's like a tragedy, you need to go back to your post and make sure you either remove that or change it up,
update
so that it's not offensive or whatever.
That's a very good point.
So just be careful when you are posting,
because this
to remember
helps you to keep it within that 60 minutes so that you're not constantly, you've got things that are in the hammer, so to speak, but then you have to also be sensitive as to what's going on when things are scheduled to post.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So you want to make sure also that you create a content calendar, like just get an Excel spreadsheet, type in the date, type in what the tweet's going to say and the link that you're going to include with that. So then now you have all the dates on there. So you can actually look at that spreadsheet and to see if something actually happened, a tragedy or something happened in the world, and you want to go in and look at your calendar to see what you have scheduled just to make sure nothing's coming out. And then you can go into Hootsuite and actually delete it or again or modify it in some way. But what Hootsuite will actually help you do is it will help you to listen to your audience. So it will show you who's tweeting, who's actually mentioned you, who sent you a direct message, that type of thing. You can also set your Facebook up with it. You can set up your LinkedIn, your Google+, all of those other platforms as well. So it's a listening tool. It helps you to listen and monitor your social media. For me, Hootsuite is a little busy. But there are other tools out there that will help you monitor, like Buffer App is another one.
Buffer App?
Yeah, Buffer App will help you. It's a little cleaner. It's not as, to me, Hootsuite is noisy. It's too much for me to handle. So, but that's just one of the options. And then also, Constant Contact, my favorite email marketing platform, actually has what's called Nutshell Mail, and it is actually free to all people on the earth.
Oh.
You don't have to be a Constant Contact customer to use it. And you would just go to nutshellmail.com. And what it does is it actually helps you to track your insights. You can reply. It goes straight to, by the way, once you set up Nutshell Mail, you'll set it up with your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter. And what happens is everything that happens within your social media will actually come to your email inbox. So you get an email as often as you set it up. Mine comes once a day. And I can actually look at my Nutshell Mail, and I now see, oh, so-and-so mentioned me. Or, you know, somebody retweeted me.
Really
or
nice.
Somebody sent me a direct message. That kind of thing.
And then that way you're responsive.
You're responding. And you can reply right from your inbox.
Nice.
You can retweet right from your inbox. Right? You can comment. You can share. You can do all of that right from your inbox. So that is an excellent tool that helps you to listen. And I love it. And then we're going to talk about analytics.
It's so important.
Reviewing Facebook insights, LinkedIn ranking, and Twitter analytics. How many people knew LinkedIn had a ranking? Did you know?
I did not know.
LinkedIn has a LinkedIn ranking, and then Twitter has Twitter analytics that you can check.
Well, I want to know this, Ramona.
You want to know?
I want to know.
Trust me, you want to know. So here's an example of what the Facebook insights look like. So from the Facebook insights, you can see page likes, you can see posts reached, how far they reach. You can look at page tab visits. You can see when fans are online, like when the best times are to post. And then you can also look at your audience's demographics. So in the first screenshot over to the left, you will see, this is one of my clients, and they have had 19,000 page likes. Who would like to have 19,000 page likes? They have 19,000 page likes. And then it tells you how many people, new page likes they've had this week alone. And then also how many people they've reached and the percentage that it went down from last week. As you can see, we have some work to do. And it actually went down because we were running some Facebook ads. So it was really reaching a lot of people. And Facebook ads are great, by the way. I can't wait to do a class on that. I just trained to be a Facebook ad specialist.
Oh, that would be
Facebook
interesting.
trained me to do that. And I'm excited about it.
That one.
And then it also showed you the post reach. In the other screenshot to the right, you see the different post types. So you see the photos are reaching 1.1 million people. The status updates are actually reaching 820 people. And then the links are reaching 522. And then it shows you your average engagement. So it shows that your average engagement is 37 people. It's down by 7. And the status updates or average engagement is 18 people. And with the links, around 15. So I wish my page looked like that.
Really good.
But I don't think my audience is really not on Facebook. So, and we need to go back one slide. There we go. Okay, thank you. So, as far as analytics is concerned with LinkedIn rankings, you can see who's viewed your profile and how you rank for profile views on LinkedIn.
I had no idea.
Yes, absolutely. So where to find that is on the home page.
Okay.
It says who's viewed your profile, and then you can click on to see who's viewed it, and you can also see how many people have viewed it. As you can see in the screenshot on the right that's behind, it actually shows all. You see the little tops of the heads. It shows me all the people that viewed my profile. Tells me what industry those people were in, what schools they went to, where their location is, and then also it tells you how many people look. So it goes by the time range, and so you can see how it goes up and down. And the screenshot on the left is actually showing how you rank for profile views. And I hadn't looked at this in a long time, and I was like shocked that I'm at the top 10% for profile views among my connections. And out of 737 people, I'm actually number 69. So I have some work to do, and now that I've looked at this, I'm going to be working harder because LinkedIn is absolutely my favorite platform, Twitter being my second.
I get a lot of synergy from LinkedIn when I post things.
Right, exactly. And it's a different, for me, it's a different feel when you're getting that engagement on LinkedIn too. So, but I do love Twitter's engagement too. So, and then here are the analytics for Twitter. You can see stats on your tweets, and you can look at your follower demographics. So I know a lot of people don't even know this is there. Again, this is that client that I showed you earlier. The impressions that they've earned over the last 28 days is 24,000.
And Ramona, this is on the Twitter page itself. We could find this on Twitter.
No, you actually have to go to Twitter Analytics.
Oh, Twitter Analytics.
Yeah, and then just type in Twitter Analytics.
Okay.
Because it's hard to find because it's not under your settings. Just type in Twitter Analytics while you're logged into Twitter.
While you're logged in. Okay.
And this will come up. And then over to the right, you actually see the demographics. So the gender, the people that follow this company for some reason are mostly men. We've been trying to get women to follow them.
Oh, wow.
But 87% are men. And the same thing on their Twitter page is like 60-some% men. Yeah.
So you're seeing like a common
Yep, exactly. So that's good to know. So you know who your audience is. So now here is our bonus as we're getting ready to wrap up. And this, again, is for mostly newbies and maybe some people who are actually on social media who haven't done all this. These are just a few tips that I put together from a seminar that I did on amplifying your brand. So these are tips for branding yourself. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to set up any one of the three of these, a LinkedIn profile, a Facebook profile, and a Twitter account. I suggest that you do all three if you're branding yourself, because as Tara mentioned, that people come to her and say that they're on social media, but they don't see themselves in the Google rankings, right?
That's right.
But you may be on there, but you need to set up your profiles completely, 100%. Don't just put your name on there because Google's not going to look for you with a blank profile.
That's right.
You need to make sure your LinkedIn profile is set up. I'm talking about with the photo, the summary, your employment history, all of that. Same thing with Facebook. Make sure your photos on there. Make sure you have a timeline cover.
And should you be using these keywords that you had talked about?
Absolutely. Use keywords on social media as well. So when you're filling out that about section, you're making sure that you're using the keywords for your industry. You're filling out the about section. You're making sure that you're posting, you're tweeting, you're commenting, you're doing status posts on LinkedIn. And you want to do the same with your Twitter. Set up a complete account with your photo. Now they have the new header. Make sure that you include that.
That's true.
And go into your settings and complete your bio and all that information. Also, if you want to brand yourself, I don't care whether you use your website or not, set one up. Buy a domain name, set up a website or a blog, and in my opinion, it should be and a blog. So set it up.
Not or, but and.
And, absolutely.
Okay.
And I know some people are going to say, I'm just not going to write a blog. So if you're not, don't set it up.
But at least have your website up.
But at least have a website up with, I don't care if you take what's on your brochure and put it on there. Put a website up. And make sure that you use your name. It's not info at or contact at. Use your name. Let people see who you are. Let them see your beautiful, bright and smiley face on your website, so that it's not just one of those standard websites that just looks like every other accountant or you know, every other store. Make sure that you personalize it. Exactly. So people know that there's a human being behind that business. My website, it doesn't get a lot of traffic except for on the class schedule page, but it's there because
I think I went to your
me.
schedule page.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
It helps me in the search engine ranking. So you Google my name, my website actually comes up first. Even though I'm not big on it, I could care less about my website, you know. But it's there.
It's driving.
Right, absolutely. Because what I do is I put my blog posts on there. I put, I have all my shareable. I put my classes on there. I don't do much else with it. Every once in a while I'll go and I'll add something because I don't feel like going on my website. To be honest with you.
It's up there.
But it's up there, and it helps
blog
me
and the other
ranking.
things are constantly feeding.
Right, exactly. So, and then also, speaking of blog feeding, great, you said that. You want to make sure that when you set up Hootsuite or one of those automatic scheduling management systems, that you actually use an RSS feed for your blog, so that if you set that up, every time that you blog, it will post to Facebook, Twitter, or wherever you set it up to go, right?
Oh, very good.
So make sure you set that up. Some platforms don't let you set up feeds, but I know that you can do it with Facebook and Twitter.
Very important.
And also with LinkedIn, you can also do an RSS feed with LinkedIn. And then make sure that whatever you're doing, I don't care if you have a cleaning service. Take pictures of you in your cleaning business. Get somebody to take pictures of you doing what you do. Do not be ashamed of what you do. I don't care if you are the janitor or whoever. If you are in business for yourself, be proud of what you do, number one. As my father always used to say, if you are a janitor, be a good janitor. That's all that matters. make sure that you're taking pictures of you in your workspace and post those pictures.
People love
Because people love pictures, and not only that, it makes you credible. Now they see you. Like there was a time when my LinkedIn profile only had, just text. When I started adding pictures, I started getting people from everywhere contacting me. I have a client from Guyana that contacted me.
Oh, wow.
Who she's a client now. She had initially called me because they needed someone to go train in St. Lucia. That conference, unfortunately, got canceled. But she's a client and a good client. And I met her on LinkedIn.
Very nice.
So I have a business partner now who we're getting ready to do a webinar called From LinkedIn to Totally Connected. He's a master certified networker.
Oh.
So we're going to do a webinar together. He found me on LinkedIn.
Wow.
So,
and send us that information because we'll put it up on our calendar.
Oh,
absolutely.
That sounds like I will absolutely do that because it's necessary to take those pictures and also video. So I have a training video up on my LinkedIn profile. You can actually include video on Twitter. There's a photo gallery on Twitter which will actually include videos if you post them. And the same with LinkedIn. Make sure that you're posting those videos on your LinkedIn profile, on your Facebook page. You can post video on Pinterest, on Google Plus. So make sure that you're using all that stuff. So if you're working, volunteering in your niche industry or whatever.
I just noticed that we've got 5 minutes
Oh,
left.
okay.
I'm so enjoying the conversation. But I didn't know if we should jump into any
Let's do
questions.
Q&A. I'm just rambling on.
Oh, no.
This is a Q&A section, so go ahead and ask away.
And Melissa, do we have any questions for her?
We do. We have quite a few. We can try to get through as many as we can right now. The first question is, does Google Alerts show if someone left you a review on a site like Yelp? And also, what are your thoughts on responding to those questions or comments?
So ask it again. I couldn't hear you quite clearly.
What are your feelings on responding to Yelp reviews? And do Google Alerts alert you if people rate you on places like Yelp?
Well, Google Alerts is not rating you, first of all. What it's doing is it's picking. I'm sorry?
They wanted to know if Google Alerts will let you know if someone reviews you.
Oh, it picks up reviews. So Google Alerts actually, just like Google's a search engine, it picks up everything on Google, or on the Internet, I should say. So, for instance, if people are reviewing you on TripAdvisor, Yelp, any of that, if you set up a Google alert on your name, it will absolutely pick up those reviews.
Great.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that was the first part. And they were wondering also what your feelings are on commenting back to those reviews.
Like if you get a bad...
Oh, my feeling on social media, period, is that you absolutely must reply, especially if it's a negative review. Because you don't want people to think that people don't matter. So you absolutely want to make sure you reply to that and say to the person, I'm sorry you had that experience. Please email me. Take it offline so that it doesn't turn into a war. But make sure you take it offline, handle it. And then once you handle it nicely, ask the person that had the problem to go back and post on social media or wherever they posted it to begin with, that you resolved that problem.
Okay, great. The next question was that someone has a new website and it's been up for about 6 months, but they're still not showing up in Google searches. Do you think it's worth it to pay to be found in the searches?
It depends on who you're getting to pay. I mean, you're going to pay because there are a lot of scam artists out there. Yeah. Also, I would question the person that designed the website. Obviously, there was no search engine optimization done on the website. So I would check to find out. It's particularly, I know a lot of web designers charge an additional fee for SEO, but they do absolutely none of it. So I would check, find out if SEO was done on the site. If not, and if it wasn't included in your package, go ahead and make sure that you optimize your website for the search.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Okay, and the next question is regarding Facebook. Do you think that people should have a separate Facebook for their personal and professional lives, or do you think you could combine them?
I would say have both, again, for branding purposes, and it helps in your search engine ranking. I have a social media profile on every platform for my name and for my business. So absolutely.
That helps you get to the top.
Boost you in the search engine ranking. What was the second part of that question?
Just would you have separate ones is what they asked.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have both.
Okay. Great.
One more question, or?
Yeah, let's do one more. They asked, for what you were showing about LinkedIn, do you need to pay to be able to see those, rankings?
You have to be a premium subscriber.
I don't believe so. I am a premium subscriber, but I don't believe that you have to.
Yeah, I think it might be there.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we have some more questions, but I know time has run out, and maybe we could pass those on to you, and you can answer them offline.
Definitely.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Melissa.
And I guess there's a big thank you for our friends at Constant Contact.
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to thank Constant Contact for allowing me to use some of their slides. And if you wanted more great resources, you can go to admintechconsulting.constantcontact.com. They have plenty of information on social media in their learning center, etc.
And Ramona, I really want to thank you. This has been quite informative. I feel like we just touched the tip of the iceberg, so we'd love to do
so much more
things with you in the future. And so on behalf of everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I want everybody to know how great these ladies are at Biz Launch and the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. If you're not a member, join.
Yay.
That's my plug. People are wonderful.
We love them there, too.
Yes.
So thank you all so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.